Hello and welcome to another episode of AI 10X, the podcast series that takes us deep into the world of AI, brought to you by 10 Leaves. Today we're going on a deep dive into a really fascinating area
Okay.
where artificial intelligence and biotechnology are coming together
Sounds good.
and having this really revolutionary impact on things like,
Yeah,
how we discover new medicines and how we grow our food.
absolutely.
We've been digging into some research from Dr. Kenji Ito, a bioinformatician,
Right.
who really specializes in this intersection of AI and biotech.
Yeah, it's a fascinating area where two seemingly different worlds are sort of increasingly intertwined, and it's leading to some really profound advancements.
Exactly. And what we want to understand today is how AI is like this
Yeah.
amazing tool to analyze all of this crazy complex data
hmm
that we get from biology and how that's driving these huge leaps forward in biotech and agriculture.
It's incredible. Yeah.
So how are AI and biotech, which, on the surface they might seem like pretty separate domains, but how are they becoming so tightly linked?
Well, what's really fascinating here is just the sheer scale of biological information that we're now generating.
Right.
So think about something like your genome, right? That's billions of data points in just one person.
Oh, wow.
When you start multiplying that by, studies that look at populations,
Yeah.
or you start considering all the data coming from proteins, which is what we call proteomics, the data sets just become truly enormous, far beyond what traditional analysis methods can really handle efficiently.
It's overwhelming to think about.
It really is, and this is exactly where AI comes in, AI algorithms,
Okay.
particularly a subset called machine learning,
hmm
which are essentially algorithms that learn patterns from data without being explicitly programmed for every single scenario.
Right.
They are incredibly adept at sifting through these massive data sets
Yeah.
and identifying these subtle connections, generating insights that would otherwise remain hidden.
It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Oh,
But like on a biological level,
it's like having a super-powered analytical brain for biological data.
that's a great analogy. So it's not just about having tons and tons of data. It's about having the tools to actually
Yeah.
understand it and find the valuable stuff.
Absolutely.
Now, when we talk about drug discovery, that's obviously something that has the potential to impact all of us.
Of course.
So how is AI specifically making a difference in that really, critical area? And what kinds of AI tools are we talking about?
Well, if we think about it in the bigger picture of improving human health, AI is really proving to be a catalyst in speeding up that whole drug discovery process, which traditionally has been very time-consuming and expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're seeing machine learning, including these things called deep neural networks, which are these complex algorithms inspired by the human brain. They're being used in several key ways. So for example, they can predict how likely a potential drug candidate is to be effective and safe, which helps to narrow down the vast number of possibilities really early on in the process.
That's amazing.
It really is. AI can also help us pinpoint entirely new targets within the body
Okay.
that a drug could act upon to treat a disease. Imagine trying to find the right key for a lock, right? AI can help us design these new keys and even identify new locks that we didn't even know existed.
That's incredible. It's like AI is opening up these possibilities we never even thought of before.
It really is. And furthermore, AI is actually being used to design novel molecules from scratch, molecules that have specific therapeutic properties. Think of it like a virtual chemist designing new compounds.
So it's not just analyzing existing data, it's actually creating new things.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just that initial discovery phase, right? AI is also analyzing those huge data sets from clinical trials to help us understand which treatments are most effective for different groups of patients, which is really paving the way for more personalized medicine.
That's really exciting.
It is. And a crucial aspect is also predicting potential drug interactions,
Yeah,
which is vital for patient safety and incredibly complex without AI.
definitely.
So we're seeing algorithms like generative adversarial networks, or GANs,
Okay.
which work like you can imagine a generator trying to create realistic data, which in this case would be drug molecules.
Okay.
And then you have a discriminator that's trying to tell the difference between the real data and the generated data. And this pushes the generator to create better and better candidates.
So they're like working against each other to get to
Exactly.
a better result.
Absolutely. And then we have recurrent neural networks, or RNNs,
Okay.
which are really good at processing sequential data. Kind of like how, the meaning of a sentence unfolds word by word.
Right.
These are proving very useful in forecasting how different drugs might interact within the body over time.
So it's like AI is becoming a virtual research lab,
It really is.
speeding up those initial stages of drug development that are usually so slow and expensive.
Exactly.
Now, let's switch gears to something that's equally vital for humanity,
Yeah.
feeding the world.
Yes.
How is AI tackling these big challenges that we face in agriculture, like
Yeah.
making sure we have enough food in a sustainable way for a growing global population?
It's a really important question. How can we creatively leverage technology to address global food security while minimizing our impact on the environment?
Yeah.
And AI is actually being deployed across a wide range of agricultural practices.
Okay.
So we're seeing AI-powered sensors and even drones being used to monitor the health of crops in real time,
Wow.
which allows for the early detection of pests and diseases, which, if left unchecked, can really devastate entire harvests.
That's a huge problem.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. And AI is also optimizing irrigation, which is the
Uh-huh.
watering of crops, and fertilization by carefully analyzing data on soil conditions,
Mhm.
weather patterns, and the specific needs of those plants. This ensures that we're not wasting precious water resources or overusing fertilizers, which can have those negative environmental consequences.
Yeah.
And, on top of that, AI algorithms are crunching this complex soil data to give us more accurate predictions of crop yields, which helps farmers make better decisions about planting and harvesting.
Okay.
And these technologies are really at the heart of what we call precision agriculture,
Right.
which is all about tailoring agricultural practices to the specific needs of different areas within a field and minimizing our overall environmental footprint.
It's like customizing the farming to
Exactly.
each individual,
Good way to put it.
part of the land.
Yeah.
Now, crucially, AI is also helping us analyze the genetic makeup of different crops to breed new varieties that are more resilient to pests, diseases, and, the increasingly unpredictable weather conditions that we're seeing with climate change.
It's a game changer, really.
Precision agriculture, that's a term we hear a lot. It really seems like AI is the technology
Yeah.
that's making that a reality on the ground.
It really is.
Can you go a little deeper into how AI actually optimizes resource use and cuts down on waste in farming?
What's particularly insightful here is how AI can take this incredibly detailed, localized data. So think about sensors embedded in the soil, measuring moisture levels and nutrient content at various depths.
Okay.
Or even tiny weather stations within a field reporting on these hyperlocal conditions,
Mm-hmm.
and then it uses that information to make very precise decisions.
Wow.
So instead of a farmer broadly applying the same amount of water or fertilizer across an entire field,
Yeah.
these AI-powered systems can direct those resources exactly where and when they're needed.
So it's like a targeted approach.
Absolutely. So for example, if one section of a field is drier than another, the AI system can instruct a variable rate irrigation system to apply more water to that specific area.
Makes sense.
Similarly, if a certain part of the field is low in a particular nutrient, fertilizer can be targeted just to that area rather than being spread uniformly.
So it's all about efficiency.
Exactly. This leads to significant conservation of water, reduction in the use of chemical fertilizers, which, as we discussed, have those environmental implications.
Yeah.
But it also results in healthier plants and ultimately better crop yields.
So everyone wins.
That's the idea. AI is also being used to optimize the timing of planting and harvesting. By analyzing historical weather data, current conditions, and predicted forecasts, AI can help farmers determine the optimal times to plant seeds for different crops and when to harvest them for maximum yield and quality, reducing that potential spoilage.
It's taking the guesswork out of it.
It really is. A really clear example of this in action is the use of computer vision models, which are AI systems trained to see and identify different objects and images. In agriculture, these can be trained to specifically identify different types of weeds growing among crops. This allows for the targeted application of herbicides directly onto those weeds, rather than spraying entire fields, again, significantly minimizing the environmental impact and reducing the amount of chemicals used.
So it's like really precise weed control.
It is. It is.
It's amazing how AI is being used in all these different ways.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
So looking towards the future, what are some of the most exciting, research and development areas that you see emerging in this space where AI, biotech, and agriculture are all coming together?
Well, there are several really compelling areas on the horizon. In biotech, the continued development of AI-powered diagnostic tools for rapid and highly accurate early disease detection is incredibly exciting.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Imagine a future where we can detect diseases like cancer or Alzheimer's much earlier, at stages where treatment is likely to be far more effective.
Yeah, early detection is key for so many things.
Absolutely. We're also seeing significant progress in using AI to design entirely new biomaterials with very specific, tailored properties for a wide range of applications from medicine to manufacturing.
Oh,
And then the engineering of microorganisms using AI for industrial applications, like the production of sustainable biofuels and biodegradable plastics.
no way.
This holds immense potential for addressing environmental challenges.
That's really interesting. What about in agriculture?
In agriculture, the advancements in fully autonomous farming systems,
Huh.
where AI is managing entire fields with minimal human intervention, from planting and monitoring to harvesting, it's rapidly evolving.
So it's like robots are taking over the farm.
In a way, yes, but in a good way. We're also exploring the use of AI to create highly personalized nutrition plans for crops, tailoring the application of water and nutrients based on the specific needs of different plant varieties and even different parts of the same field.
That's incredible. So it's like personalized nutrition, but for plants.
Exactly. And a particularly fascinating area is the application of AI to analyze the complex communities of microorganisms, what we call the microbiome, that live in and around plants and animals.
Okay.
Understanding these intricate relationships and how to manipulate them using AI could lead to significant improvements in overall health and productivity, both in agriculture and animal husbandry.
It's like this whole hidden world that we're just starting to understand.
It really
Now,
is.
all this processing of massive data sets and running these complex AI algorithms
Mm-hmm.
that must require a lot of computing power and data infrastructure.
Yes.
How are technologies like cloud computing and big data infrastructure playing a role in enabling all of this?
Well, if we connect this back to the fundamental requirements of AI, cloud computing platforms and a robust big data infrastructure are absolutely essential enablers. They provide that massive computing power and vast storage capacity necessary to handle the enormous data sets generated in both biotech and agriculture, and also to effectively train these sophisticated AI models. And furthermore, cloud platforms facilitate this seamless collaboration and data sharing among researchers and developers across different institutions, universities, and even across the globe.
So it's like bringing the world together to solve these problems.
Exactly. And this interconnectedness is significantly accelerating the pace of innovation in both of these fields.
It's amazing how much technology has changed the way we do research.
Absolutely. It's a whole new world.
And what kind of economic impact are we starting to see from this powerful convergence of AI and biotech?
Well, the economic implications are already quite significant and are projected to experience substantial growth in the coming years.
Wow.
The market for AI in agriculture, for example, is expected to see tremendous expansion, creating new jobs in areas like data science applied to agriculture, agricultural robotics, and related technologies. Similarly, in drug discovery, the ability of AI to significantly reduce the time and overall cost involved in bringing new and effective treatments to market has huge economic benefits, potentially leading to more affordable and accessible medicines for a wider population. This intersection of AI and the life sciences is really poised to be a major driver of economic growth and innovation across multiple sectors.
It really does seem like a win-win situation. We're seeing advancements that can benefit both human health and the environment while also driving economic growth.
It's a very promising future if we can navigate the challenges responsibly.
That's a great point. Navigating the ethical and societal implications of these technologies is crucial, along with addressing issues like data privacy and security. We also need to ensure that these advancements are accessible to everyone, promoting inclusivity and equity in how they're developed and deployed.
Absolutely. Open dialogue, collaboration, and public engagement are essential to ensure that AI is used for good in these fields. We need to foster responsible innovation and build trust through transparency and accountability.
Dr. Ito, this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive into this fascinating synergy between AI and biotech. It's really remarkable to witness how these fields are converging and the potential they hold for shaping our future in such profound ways.
It's a truly exciting time to be working at this intersection. The potential to address some of humanity's most pressing challenges in health and sustainability is immense.
Stay tuned and don't miss out on the valuable insights and thought-provoking discussions that await you in this episode of AI 10X.